Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's X-Men, Star Wars, and Spider-Man books, so let's move on to this week's Avengers books, as well as a few other things. Kicking things off, we've got Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, number 10. Where we left off, AIM had taken over a chunk of Manhattan, placing it under a energy dome. It seemed to be impenetrable. Cap and his allies had been removed, and, well, they decided to go back in, facing off against MODOK. Though this is not... this MODOK is a mental organism designed only for control. That said, AIM is looking for something, and it appears to be that which Arno Zola was looking for way back in Captain America #0 from last year. So, MODOK is in the heads of all of our heroes. Cap is being forced to relive Bucky turning on him recently, or opting to become the Revolution. Sharon Carter's having to kind of face the fact that she is referred to at one point as being Captain America's his Sin Eater. Basically, that she'll do the dirtier stuff so that Steve can keep his hands clean. Then we've got Destroyer. Reliving the point when he came out to the only man he ever loved. Fury dealing with his past, his wartime past. The Redacted becoming, well, the Redacted, and it appears that there may have been some brood DNA utilized in making the Redacted. But Peggy Carter is the heart. Basically, revisits the memory of sorts of revisited memory where of a firework going off in apparently her hand, but apparently she managed to pick this memory, basically to explain to MODOK that he's got basically an explosive in his hand. Elsewhere, the power is direct on the ground in Lower Manhattan, and the Revolution is watching everything play out. And they appear to be getting what it was they were going after. And as MODOK's about to begin everyone's mental torture again, Destroyer is the one that basically says no, and manages to manifest his costumed self, and break through the walls and get everyone out. Peggy, Redacted, Fury, Sharon, and Steve. And then he goes at they go after MODOK. And manages to short out MODOK, but MODOK reverts to the mental organisms I don't want for killing. fires a blast that seemingly kills Destroyer. And that is where the issue ends. The story is heating up, and at this point, it's fairly clear that the series is barreling towards the upcoming crossover between the two Captain America titles. That crossover being entitled Cold War. It'll kick off, I believe, next month. Moving on to our next book, we have I Am Iron Man, #1. Now, this is a miniseries. Based, you know how last year we had the Ant-Man miniseries, and right now we have the Wasp miniseries. Well, this is the Iron Man one with the same basic concept, celebrating the 60th anniversary of Iron Man. And so, like those previous ones, this more like the Ant-Man one. This kind of this miniseries will be, each issue will take place during a different point in Iron Man's publication history. So the issue largely starts off in the past with Iron Man fighting what appear to be large creatures made of whatever's around, basically. He's able to defeat them, but a young woman shows up. She has a base, and she uses it. She's controlling these constructs, and the damage that gets done to Iron Man is kind of severe. And she goes to, she's from the future. She makes it clear she's from the future, and she wants to face Iron Man. She says it won't be any fun to face him. At this point when the armor is basically his pacemaker. In the present, though, it looks still like it's the past. Iron Man cleared out a restaurant. And talked with the owner of said restaurant. So something is coming. Later, now the reason I would say that this particular vignette still takes place in the past is that Tony's wearing a Silver Centurion suit. So, yeah. He hadn't worn that in a long time. But after saving an old woman, Iron Man hears some music and trying to pinpoint the trajectory, the source, and another contract like earlier attacks. In the future, Tony Stark confronts the young girl using holographic constructs, and including a giant-sized construct of Iron Man. But she explains that first off, he explains it's all a construct. Apparently, Cosmic Flare was coming for Times Square to save everyone. Tony moved the entirety of New York City to a pocket dimension, but the pocket dimension collapsed before he could bring them back. And his antagonist seems to have what he needs. Her base allows her to travel across time, but she only has one charge left, and not enough for me to save everyone. And while it does seem to work, he doesn't bring his family back because he sent his family to the pocket dimension far ahead of the rest of the city. That realization finally broke Iron Man, and why, to her, fighting him in her time is no fun. The universe punished him the one time he didn't choose to save the people first. But he says, why, how do you know I'm not just knowing this, I won't just go back and save my family. And she says that because her New Yorker still hasn't faded out of existence. Because Iron Man is their hero. And that is where the issue ends. Apparently, the next issue will be set during Archie Goodwin's era on Iron Man. So, I'm liking these 60th anniversary miniseries. They're really neat. The concept of just kind of following a character within their over the course of their entire run is really quite cool. I'm digging it. I'm actually very curious. I imagine we'll get something similar this year to focusing on the X-Men, as this year is the 60th anniversary of X-Men, and probably the same thing goes with the Avengers, because again, the 60th anniversary of the Avengers. So, and yeah, I'm digging these. So by all means, keep them up. Keep them coming, Marvel. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Cosmic Ghost Rider, #1. That's right, Cosmic Ghost Rider is back, and apparently there's an ongoing series. So, quick rundown on Cosmic Ghost Rider. In one potential future timeline, Thanos obliterated the Earth. During his assault, Frank Castle was killed. And seeing as how Frank Castle is regarded in the Marvel Universe as being the most prolific mass murderer of all time, he went to hell. And he basically arrived and found Mephisto and said, "Hey, send me back." And Mephisto was like, I can't do that." And Frank's like, "Sure you can. Make me Ghost Rider." And Mephisto was kind of like, "You're volunteering to be Ghost Rider? Okay." But time moves differently in hell, so when Frank got back, the Earth was pretty much, Thanos was gone. And while he hadn't wiped out all life on Earth, there wasn't much life left to protect. So then Galactus showed up to eat the planet, and Frank made a deal with yet another devil, becoming Galactus' herald. The idea being that by doing so, he would be able to track down Thanos and, well, get revenge. And he did track down Thanos. Him and Galactus did. And Thanos killed Galactus and took the power cosmic, and beat the shit out of Frank, and made Frank his herald. Then a younger Thanos was brought to the future because old Thanos was bored. There were no challenges left. And, well, if anyone's going to kill him, it's going to be his younger self. And, yeah. During that, Thanos killed Cosmic Ghost Rider. Apparently, Cosmic Ghost Rider went to Valhalla. And Odin basically kind of pulled some strings to allow Frank to leave Valhalla if he so desired. And he did. Mucked with the timeline. A lot. And, yeah. I've done some other stuff. There was a miniseries last year, maybe the year before. But, yeah. Where he was... anyway, so... we open... Cosmic Ghost Rider is at a casino in space, planning to kill and he kills the owner. The interesting point is that he's wearing a white outfit. That doesn't like him. But Frank wakes up. The daughter of his landlord knocking on his door. He's the handyman in exchange for the room. He's handyman. It's a space bar called Marlin's. But fixes problems around the place, unloads trucks, whatever. But Marlin Marlon isn't entirely trusting. I think there's more to this Frank than meets the eye. And apparently, though, he said he's moving on in a week. Um, a drunkard stumbles in the town, and a mysterious stranger on a motorcycle shows up, asking for Marlins. Guy directs him there. Marlon goes. Our mysterious stranger goes to Marlon's, wanting Frank. Marlon's daughter attacks him, and well, she pulls the guns on both of them when Frank comes out, stating that Cosmic Ghost Rider no longer exists. But the mysterious stranger shoots at Frank, saying it's for the Sakaran guard. Marlon gets shot. And Frank wakes up in a different room. Clean shaven this time. Cursing his dreams and saying it's obviously a dream because he never hesitates to pull the trigger. And that's our A story. We have a backup story. Basically, Frank in bed, and he's just, a good night's sleep ain't exactly something he gets often. But he wakes up to his dead wife coming for him. Then some of his old squad mates from the Shan Kong conflict. Someone, a past victim, not in the, someone who basically lost everything in Frank's various misadventures has gotten a magical bauble and wants to get revenge but Frank talks him down and destroys the thing, saying magic always has a cost. And you'll only lose yourself. And the issue ends with Cosmic Ghost Rider stepping through a fiery portal. Alright, strong first issue. I'm pretty sure this is an ongoing. I'm hoping it is. I do love me a Cosmic Ghost Rider title, so yeah. Moving on, though, to our next book, we go from Cosmic Ghost Rider to just Ghost Rider, number 12. So where we left off, Johnny Blaze and Talia Warroad were headed to Savannah, where something really bad was going on. They get close but they're stopped by state police. Savannah's burning. The entire city is burning. Johnny gets maced, but the spirit takes over, and he takes Telly. Takes the one of the cop cars and takes the cop car, heads into the city, and Talia kind of just makes the cops forget. But he shows up. Clearly bad stuff has happened. In a cemetery, Ghost Rider confronts one of the demons, who says that things were going fine until Ghost Rider came and burned it all down. Talia does what she can to save those who can be saved in the town, but Ghost Rider fights through the zombies that the demon raises, and then seems to get something of a vision of what did cause everything. And what he sees felt familiar, like a brother. But he kills the demon. Um, they get Talia and Johnny get for Johnny it's new. It's pretty much a completely new set of clothes because yeah, it's kind of torn up after everything. And Talia picks up some new clothes for herself. They go to a local. They go to a roadside motel, charged by the hour, and they need a room with a. They explained that they need a room with a tub, a big one. They're in the honeymoon suite. But they get some salt and Talia has Johnny put some of his blood in, and she gets in the tub to see what's going on. She sees everything. You know, because of the blood, she's able to kind of see his bloodline. His father, Barton Blaze, his wife, Roxanne, their children, and Johnny's brother, Danny. At least she sees his body. He's explaining that he's different now. In a way, he might as well be dead. We get a shot of the Weapon X Ghost Rider. Now when they kind of made this revelation that we were getting Weapon X adjacent Ghost Rider, I did have some concerns. I don't think I voiced them, but basically, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that when that issue that had him, if they were going to address how Ed Brisson's Ghost Rider run ended for Danny, with him going from being a spirit of vengeance to a spirit of corruption. I would say that's being addressed as Danny is holding a sword that looks similar-ish to the sword he wielded as a spirit of corruption. But that is where the issue ends. And yeah, Ghost Rider is also building its way towards a crossover with Wolverine, which will deal with basically, yeah, it's a Weapon X offshoot that has it's got Danny. So, moving on though to our last book for the moment, we've got Murderworld, Game Over, wrapping up the Murderworld quasi miniseries. Where we left off, it seemed as though our two remaining contestants, Alex and Marina, were saved by Black Widow. Saved from being attacked, at least. Saved from being killed by Moon Knight by Black Widow. But Marina attacks Widow, seemingly taking her down. Alex goes to check a pulse, and, well, there's a thready pulse, and we get a bit of backstory. I'm not going to go through all the backstory. Kind of pops up in bits and pieces, but Alex had a gambling problem, and he blew all of his money on including house fund, his daughter's college, everything. But his wife told him, "Hey, don't worry about it. We'll make this right." And this was about around the time that he got an invite to Murderworld. But while Marina's been warning Alex that Black Widow was actually an LMD, Alex has listened, and yeah, it's an LMD. She uses one of Moon Knight's crescent darts, and it's now between Marina and Alex. With Arcadia says, "Hey, only one of you's walking out of there alive, so who's it going to be?" Marina states that she can fake her death, and he can take the winnings, and he can take the winnings, and like I said, she'll fake her death. But he also mentions he has a life insurance policy in case something. He took out a life insurance policy in case something happened, and Alex managed to duke it out with Alex winning, seemingly strangling Marina. He's crowned the winner. The murderettes escort him through the door, which has the prize money. But everything he's done has been broadcast to. Arcade has a very special audience who got to see Alex's adventures. His friends, his coworkers, his family. But and he did just literally murder someone, so the authorities might have some issue with that. But Arcade sees potential in him. Alex can push a button that says win on it, get the medics, get the prize money, send however much of the prize money he wants to his family. But yeah, Arcade is planning to wants to try and franchise. Later, Black Widow shows up, and Arcade's aware that she's tracking him. And he left a dummy with the widow symbol in place for eyes. And an invite to season 23. And with Arcade stating that if she doesn't opt to going for season 23 of Murderworld, well, he'll just pick some substitutes to take her place. People she's met, people who trust her, people she loves. But she'd much rather that Widow give it a try. And that is where the series ends. I really enjoyed these. Arcade is one of those villains where he's goofy, but he straddles this weird area where doing him justice means that yes, he's going to be goofy, but he's also going to be an absolute psychotic creep. And Jib Zub managed to nail that in these one shots. And to be fair, I can't think of many writers who haven't actually managed to nail that with him. So it's kind of nice to have a villain that can be goofy but horrendously evil at the same time. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.